It started like any other day on the water, quiet, calm, almost boring. But what Ryan pulled out of the sea wasn't just rare. It may not have even been from this world. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a mystery from the deep. The Pacific was glass that morning, barely a ripple across the surface. Ryan launched just before dawn, chasing solitude more than a catch. Fishing was his escape, from noise, from people, from everything. Out here, it was just him and the current. He'd been casting for hours with nothing to show. Not unusual. Some days the sea gave, other days it kept its silence. He reached for his thermos to warm his hands when the line jerked hard, nearly pulling the rod from his grip. This wasn't a nibble. It was a full-force hit. Ryan stood, bracing his legs. The rod bent like a bowstring. Whatever was on the other end was huge, not just strong, deliberate. The fight dragged on for 20, maybe 30 minutes. His muscles screamed, his breath fogged, but he held on. Finally, through the chop, a shape breached the water, a grouper, massive, at least 250 pounds, maybe more, a catch worth bragging about. But as he pulled it closer, something strange caught his eye. The fish's mouth wasn't fully closed. Wedged between its jaws was something metallic, round, and glinting in the sun. Ryan blinked. Propeller debris? A chunk of trash? Number. It was a perfect sphere. With shaking arms, he hauled the grouper on board. It thrashed once, then fell still. He dropped to his knees, heart pounding, and pried the jaws open. The object slipped out with a dull thunk on the deck and rolled toward him. It was a smooth metal orb, about the size of a grapefruit, heavy, warm, unmarked. Ryan picked it up. The surface bore scratches, a few dents, but no numbers, no labels, no writing. Just metal, seamless except for a faint line around its midsection. A seam, like a lid waiting to be opened. He stared at it, unsettled. It didn't belong. Back at the harbor, he offloaded the fish and the orb. Word spread fast. Fishermen gathered, theories flew. Looks military. Maybe a mine? Nah, that's alien tech, man. Everyone joked, but no one touched it. Ryan brought it home. He cleaned the fish, mostly to calm his nerves. Inside the grouper's stomach, nothing unusual. Bits of crab, fish bones, seaweed. No trace of the orb, which meant it hadn't been swallowed, it had been carried. That night, he couldn't sleep. The orb sat on his workbench, reflecting his desk lamp like an eye watching him. He tapped it with a wrench. It rang out, not like steel, a high, crystalline tone, pure and strange. By morning, he'd had enough. He called Dr. Elise Tanaka, a local marine biologist he knew from some charity work. She arrived skeptical, polite, but the moment she held the orb, her eyes changed. "This isn't industrial," she said, "at least not from anything I've seen." She scanned it. No signals, no circuits, just layers of dense metal not matching anything in her database. Then she ran her finger along the seam. Click, a hiss. The orb split open with a soft, mechanical grace, revealing a velvet-lined hollow. Inside, a disc, thin, transparent, iridescent like oil on water. Elise lifted it with gloved hands. Etched into its surface were geometric patterns, concentric circles, intersecting lines, tiny markings that pulsed faintly in the light. "This isn't navigation," she murmured. "It's informational." News spread, fast. Researchers, journalists, even a few men in suits with vague credentials began showing up at Ryan's door. Elise stayed to help, obsessively analyzing the disc. She was convinced it was some kind of data storage, an ancient archive, but no one could read it. The metal was carbon dated. The results came back conflicting. Some parts of the orb were thousands of years old, others, millions. Ryan stopped going out to deep water. Something had changed in him. He had dreams of lights under the waves, of massive shadows brushing the ocean floor, of eyes. He tried to ignore it. Then one morning he walked into his workshop, and the orb was gone. No broken locks, no prints, nothing, except a single wet footprint by the door, human-sized, slightly webbed. Elise vanished the same week, packed up and left town. She didn't return calls, no goodbye. Ryan kept fishing, but never far from shore. Every now and then, his fish finder would blink, glitch, show impossible readings. Massive shapes below, shapes that moved. He didn't investigate. He reeled in and went home. Years passed. Then, one cold morning, walking the beach alone, he saw something half buried in the sand. Not the orb, a disc, a new one, different patterns, same shimmer. He didn't touch it. He buried it deeper and walked away without looking back. The sea still calls to him. It always does, not in words, in movement, in pressure, in memory. Ryan knows now that what he pulled from the ocean wasn't just a lucky catch. It was a message, or a warning, or maybe an invitation. He'll never know for sure, and maybe that's the point, because whatever the orb was, alien, ancient, man-made, or something beyond those definitions, it had chosen him, and it wasn't finished. In the end, Ryan didn't find a fish. He found a doorway, a glimpse into a mystery buried deeper than any submarine has ever gone, a signal that somewhere, in the crushing dark below, something waits, watching, listening, maybe even learning, and maybe, just maybe, it sent that fish to the surface for a reason, not to be caught, to deliver. So ask yourself, was it really just a coincidence? Or is the ocean trying to tell us something? Something we've only just begun to understand? Because the sea forgets nothing. And some secrets don't stay buried. If this story sent a chill down your spine, drop a comment and let us know what you think the orb was. Alien tech, lost civilization, government experiment. Don't forget to subscribe for more strange stories from the depths of our world and beyond. Until next time, keep your eyes open and listen closely. The sea is always speaking,